It is a winter night and the storm has been coming down for hours, and then, all at once, the house goes black. The hum you never notice is gone, the refrigerator ticks and falls silent, and you are standing in your own kitchen in the pitch dark, feeling along the counter with your hand, and somewhere in another room a grandchild says, in a small voice, "What happened to the lights?" So you do what your family has always done. You feel your way to the drawer, and you find the candles and the matches, and you light a few and set them around, and there is that small relief when the room glows again. And you find your phone, and it is at 40%, and you realize with a cold little drop in your stomach that when that 40% is gone, you have no way to call your daughter, no way to call for help, no way to even see the weather, and the power company is saying it could be 2 days. Now I want you to sit with this a moment, friend, because there is a thing here almost nobody tells you, and it will sound backward. Those candles you just lit in the dark, feeling reassured by them, are the single most dangerous thing in your house tonight. Not the storm outside, the candle on your own table. Because more house fires start during power outages than at any other time. And the candle is the reason why. A small flame left burning in a dark house full of tired, frightened people, knocked over by a pet or a child or a sleeve, in a house where the smoke alarms may be dead too. The very thing you reached for to feel safe is the thing most likely to burn the house down around you. And there's a better way, an old and simple and cheap way, that gives you steady light with no flame at all, and keeps your phone alive for days, and it costs about $20, and it fits in a drawer. That is what I am going to give you today. Honestly, plainly, including exactly what $20 can do and exactly what it cannot, because I will not sell you a dream, friend. I will sell you the truth, which is better. Not one part of this is difficult. It costs about $20. Any man or woman watching can set it up in 10 minutes tonight and never be caught helpless in the dark again. I am Pastor Eli. I have kept a country parish and a country house for the better part of 40 years. In country where the power goes out every hard winter and every summer storm, and I have learned the calm way and once or twice the hard way, how a family keeps its light and its head when the grid goes down. Today I'm going to give you the whole of it, 7 things. The $20 kit and what it honestly does, the truth about the candle, how to keep it charged and ready, how to stretch your phone for days, the layered light plan, the deadly generator mistake that kills more folks than the storm, and the step up for those who want more. The kit comes first because it is the thing the title promised you. And the 6th, the generator mistake, is the one I most need you to hear, because it is the one that fills the hospitals every single time a big storm rolls through this country. And it is entirely preventable. We build to it. Stay with me. One word before I go on. The old ways I keep. There is more of it than fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book, and you will find it at PastorEliWhitfield.com. It is called Waste Nothing, and it is a manual and not a sermon, with a real price on every material and an honest word on every limit. I will not mention it again. If you want it, you know where it is. Now let me show you the kit. The first thing and the most important is the $20 kit itself, and I am going to be completely honest with you about what it is and what it is not, because that honesty is the whole gift. For about $20, you buy 2 things. The first is a large power bank. That is a battery in a box about the size of a thick paperback that you charge from any wall outlet ahead of time, and it holds that charge in the drawer for months ready. You want a big one, 20,000 milliamp hours or more, and the number on the box tells you the size. The second thing, if there is a little money left, is a small LED lantern that charges by the same USB cord, or you fold that into a slightly bigger budget. That is the kit, a charged battery in a box and a flameless light. Now here's the honest part, and I want you to hear it clearly, because the internet is full of people promising you the moon for $20, and I am not one of them. This kit will not run your house. It will not run your refrigerator. It will not run your furnace or your well pump or your air conditioner. Anybody who tells you $20 does that is lying to you, and I would be a poor shepherd if I let you believe it. What this kit does is the thing that actually matters most in the first day of a blackout, and it does it well. A good 20,000 milliamp hour power bank will charge a typical phone 4 or 5 times over. 5 full charges. That is not survival, friend. That is your lifeline. That is days of being able to call your family, call for help, check the weather, and reach the outside world. From a battery that fits in your coat pocket and costs you $20. Keep the phone alive and you keep your connection to help. That is what the kit is for. Light for the room and life for the phone, not the house. The two things that keep a family safe and calm and connected through the worst of it. And for $20, there is nothing else that does as much. The second thing is the reversal I promised you, the truth about the candle. And it is the single most important safety thing I will tell you today, so hear me close. When the power goes out, the candle is the first thing most families reach for. It is the old instinct, the warm glow, the comfort of it. And it is the most dangerous choice in the house. I am not saying this to frighten you. I am telling you what the people whose whole job is safety say plainly. The Centers for Disease Control and the American Red Cross, both of them tell you directly. During a power outage, use battery-powered flashlights and lanterns, not candles, because the candle is a leading cause of house fires, and never more so than in a blackout. Think about why. A blackout is exactly when a candle is most dangerous. The house is dark, so you cannot see the flame you forgot in the other room. Everyone is tired and stressed and moving through rooms they cannot see. There are pets underfoot and children who cannot sleep. And here is the worst of it, the thing almost nobody thinks of. In a long outage, your smoke alarms may be dead too. The battery's drained. So a fire that starts from a candle at 2 in the morning may burn without a single alarm going off to wake you. A flameless LED lantern cannot do any of that. It cannot tip over and catch the curtains. It cannot burn a child's fingers. It cannot fill a closed house with smoke. It gives a steady, bright, safe light for many hours, brighter than a candle. And when the outage is over, you charge it back up and put it in the drawer. This is the whole reason the $20 kit beats the candle drawer, friend. Not because it is fancier, because it will not burn your house down on the worst night of the year. The third thing is keeping it charged and ready, because the finest kit in the world is worthless if it is dead in the drawer when the lights go out. A power bank slowly loses its charge just sitting there, a little each month. So here is the old habit that keeps it ready. Twice a year when you change your clocks, you take the power bank out of the drawer and you top it back up to full, and you put it back. Twice a year, 10 minutes, and it is always ready. Some folks tie it to the seasons, spring and fall, before storm season and before winter, and you keep it and the lantern in one known place, a specific drawer or shelf that everyone in the house knows, near where you will be when the lights go out, because it does you no good to own a lantern you cannot find in the dark. One drawer, everyone knows it, topped off twice a year. That is a kit that is actually there when the night comes. The fourth thing is how to stretch that phone, because the phone is your line to the world and you want it to last for days, not hours. When the power goes out and you know it may be a while, you make that phone last. First, and this saves more battery than anything else, you turn on airplane mode when you are not actively using it, or at the least you turn it to low power mode. A phone in a weak signal area burns its battery searching and searching for a tower, and airplane mode stops that hunt. You turn the screen brightness all the way down. You close the apps. And in a house with more than one phone, you keep one phone on as the family phone and turn the others fully off to save their batteries for later, so you always have a fresh one in reserve. And here is a small, hard rule that matters more than it sounds. Do not use your phone as your flashlight. I know it is right there and it is easy, but that phone is your one link to help, and running its light drains the very battery you need to call your daughter or dial for an ambulance. That is exactly what the lantern is for. Light comes from the lantern. The phone is for reaching the world. Keep those two jobs separate, and your phone will last for days instead of hours. Before I give you the last three things and the generator mistake that I most need you to hear, let me pause for a moment. If these old ways are worth something to you, subscribe and walk along with me. I put out one of these every week and it costs you nothing. Now, everything I have told you so far keeps a family lit and connected through an ordinary outage, and for most storms, that is the whole of what you need. What comes next is about the longer, harder outages and about the one mistake that turns a survivable storm into a funeral. This is the part I most need you to carry home. Stay with me, friend. The fifth thing is the layered light plan for when the outage is not a few hours, but a few days. One lantern is a fine start, but a house is more than one room, so the old way is to think in layers. A lantern for each main room where the family gathers, the kitchen and the living room, so those rooms are simply usable after dark, safe to walk through, no trips and falls, which are their own danger for older folks in the dark. Then a flashlight, or better, a headlamp for each person, so that anyone can go to the bathroom or down to the basement to check the breaker without carrying a flame or draining a phone. A headlamp especially, for it leaves both your hands free, which matters when you are feeling your way down a dark stair. Layer it that way. Area light in the rooms and a personal light for each person, and a whole family moves through a dark house safely for days. And every one of those lights is flameless and charges from the same kind of USB cord, so one power bank keeps the small ones topped up too. The sixth thing is the deadly generator mistake, and this is the one, friend, this is the one I have been building toward, because it kills more people every single storm season than the storms themselves, and it is completely preventable, and almost nobody is warned plainly enough. If you own a gas generator or ever run one, hear this and never forget it. A gas generator must never, ever run inside the house, never in the basement, never in the garage, even with the door open, never on a porch or near an open window. Only outside, well away from the house, with the exhaust pointed away from every door and window. Here is why, and it is the plainest life and death thing I will ever tell you. A gas generator gives off carbon monoxide, a gas you cannot see and cannot smell. It has no warning at all. It builds up in an enclosed space, and it puts people quietly to sleep, and they do not wake up. Every year, after every big storm, families die this way, whole families who survived the storm just fine and then ran a generator in the garage to keep warm and were gone by morning. They did not smell anything. There is nothing to smell. That is what makes it so deadly, and that is why the warning has to be this loud. The generator lives outside, far from the house, always, no exceptions. Not even for a minute, not even in the cold, not even in the rain. You put a shelter over it out in the yard if you must, but it never, ever comes near the house it is powering. And you put a battery carbon monoxide alarm in your home, a few dollars, that will wake you if the invisible gas ever reaches you. That one alarm and that one rule is the difference between a hard night and a funeral. The seventh thing is the honest step up for those who find they want more than the $20 kit can give. If, after a long outage or two, you decide you want to run more than a phone and a lantern, there is a next step, and I will be honest about it too. For a couple of $100, not 20, you can buy what they call a portable power station, a big battery in a box with regular wall outlets on it. A small one, around $300, will keep your phones and lights and a small fan or a laptop going, and it is safe to use indoors. No fumes, no flame, which a gas generator never is. It will not run your whole house or your refrigerator for long, and anyone who tells you a portable one does that for a few $100s is stretching it. But for keeping the essentials, the phone, the light, a medical device like a breathing machine through the night, it is a real and safe and quiet thing. And you can even charge it back up from a small solar panel in a long outage. That is the honest next step. $20 keeps you lit and connected. A few hundred keeps a few essentials running. And no home-sized backup is truly cheap, so do not let anyone tell you otherwise. But the $20 kit, friend, is where every family should start, because it does the two most important things for the least money, and it fits in a drawer. Now let me take a moment, because here is where it all comes together. Look at what we have walked through. The $20 kit, a big power bank and a flameless lantern, honest about what it does, light for the room and 5 charges for the phone, and honest about what it does not, which is run the house. The reversal that the candle you reach for in the dark is the leading fire danger in a blackout. And the CDC and the Red Cross both say reach for the flameless light instead. The habit of topping the battery off twice a year so it is never dead in the drawer. The phone stretched for days with airplane mode and a dim screen, and never ever used as a flashlight. The layered plan, a lantern per room and a headlamp per person for the longer outages. The generator that must live outside always because the invisible gas it gives off has killed whole families who survived the storm itself. And the honest step up, a few $100s for a safe indoor power station for those who want more than the drawer kit gives. $20 a drawer, and a household that keeps its light and its head when the grid goes down. And now the small honest word about why so few families are ready, and I do not say it to rile you up. There is no great profit in a $20 power bank and a habit of topping it off twice a year. The big money is in the generators and the whole home systems, and there is nothing wrong with those for the folks who need and can afford them. But nobody makes much selling a family the cheap, simple $20 thing that covers the most important 80% of the need. So the plain preparation went quiet, and families were left to reach for the candle drawer in the dark, the most dangerous thing in the house, because nobody ever sat them down and showed them the cheap, safe way. Today you have it. And it is the kind of small, quiet readiness that lets a man sleep easy the night the storm rolls in. So here's what I want you to do this week before the next storm in the calm. Buy one good large power bank, 20,000 milliamp hours or more, and charge it full. Buy or dig out one flameless LED lantern and a headlamp or two. Put them all in one drawer that the whole family knows. Write on your calendar twice a year, top off the battery. And if you own a generator, say the rule out loud at your own supper table tonight so the whole family knows it. It runs outside, far from the house, always. And buy a carbon monoxide alarm on your way home. Do that, and the next time the house goes black on a winter night, and a small voice asks what happened to the lights, you will already be reaching, calm and sure, for a steady, safe light and a phone that will last for days. The Lord, in the parable, praised the 5 wise young women for one thing above all. They had oil in their lamps before the darkness came. They did not wait for the midnight cry to go looking for light. They prepared in the daylight, at their leisure, at no great cost, so that when the dark hour came, they were ready and unafraid. That is not fear, friend, and it is not hoarding, and it is surely not doom. It is the oldest kind of wisdom there is, the quiet readiness of a household that has looked ahead and provided, so that when the hard night comes, and it always comes, there is light in the house and calm in the heart. Trim your lamp in the daylight, that is the whole of it. Now tell me in the comments below, how long was your longest power outage, and how did your family get through it? And did your parents or your grandparents have a way of keeping light and keeping calm when the power went? An old lamp? A habit? A drawer they kept ready? Tell me what it was and tell me your state. For some parts of this country lose power far more than others, and I like to map the old ways by where you all write from. I read every single one. Next time, since we have been speaking of keeping a household ready and provided, I am going to show you the 8 crops to plant in these last weeks of summer for a fall harvest. The old fall garden that fed a family right up to the frost and beyond, back when every home had one and the store was far away. It is the natural next step after today, and I hope you will walk it with me. Until then, look well to what you have been given. Waste nothing, and God bless.